Hello, this video gives an introduction to the Standards and Document Reference Manager plugin developed by Garantis IT Solutions. The plugin is helpful for referencing either standards or a library with other documentation and referencing those into the development documentation such as requirements. It's also helpful for then showing and demonstrating where those references are used in documents. So let's jump in, let's have a look at the plugin. So here you see a document that is for the specification of a digital thermometer, and it's intended to be released as a medical device. So let's insert some references that relate to the EU medical device regulations. So if we have a look at this requirement in particular, it's talking about the accuracy of the thermometer. So it'd be really good to insert a reference that's relevant to that. So we can launch the reference manager by clicking on the little icon up here. And here will be displayed all of the references that we have created already. But you can see there's only one that's already existing and it's not related to the medical device regulation. So let's create one. So let's have a look at the medical device regulation. So here you can see the latest version that was in effect at the time of this recording, which was released in January of 2025. So if we skip down to Annex 1, and you'll see that there's a section here, 15.1, that is talking around the accuracy of a device. So let's create this as a reference. So we'll copy that text, remembering that it's 15.1, and then it's come back into the reference manager. So in the description, we can put the text that we copied. It was in 15.1, and it was actually in Annex 1. So the regulation itself is EU 02017/0745. And for the version, we will put that effective date. So with all of the information populated, we'll then create the new reference. And you can see that's available straight away to us in the bottom of the reference manager here. So we'll copy that link and then we will paste it. And let's save the document. So let's also add a reference to this work I'm doing here, which is talking about being safe for contact by a patient. So coming back to the reference manager, here we can see the previous reference that was created, but it also generated the clause of Annex 1, and it also created a reference for the whole regulation. So these would be available to create references from. But we want to create another one that was based off of Annex 1. So if we click on that, we've already populated the relevant information up here. So if we go to the reference itself now, we can come back to this section here, and we will copy this as 10.1 into a new reference. So we'll paste that description down here, and it was 10.1. So now when we create a new reference, you can see that that is available to us here. So we'll copy that link and we'll paste it in the document, and we'll save that. But further up in the document, we also talk about the whole regulation. So let's insert the reference there to the regulation as a whole. And so you can see here, we can copy that link and we'll paste that in here. And then we'll save the document there. And let's insert just one more, which is talking about the electrical safety of the device. So let's insert this one here. And we'll save the document again. So all of these references are created in a central references project. So let's go and have a look at that project. So here in the references project, we have some traceability reports. So here, for example, we can see that EU medical device regulation at its high level, the various clauses, which are in this case in Annex 1. And then in that, we can also then see all of the various subparts that have been created as references, including the ability to reference the annex and the whole regulation. The nice thing about the references manager is you don't need to worry about this structure. It manages it by itself. Another nice feature is then to be able to look at a particular reference and to then show, well, where is it used? So looking at this reference usage report, We can then see all the various references. And here we can see the ones that are in use and where they have been referenced. You can see the document and you can see the particular project. So let's say, for instance, this reference here is now obsolete because it's actually been superseded by a new version. We can change its status to mark obsolete and that it's now invalid. When we come back to the report, we can see the impact that that reference becoming obsolete has and all the places that it would then need to be updated. So the other thing I'd like to show you is the ability to search within the reference manager. Let's say, for instance, you know the subpart is 10.1. When you hit search, then the results down here are filtered to all the items containing that. If we were, for instance, to search by the year, we can put a wild card in and look at everything that has 2025 in the version. And so here you can see it's pulled up all of these references. There's also the ability to update the particular description of an existing reference. So this can be updated using that button. And you can see the description has been updated. So that was a quick introduction to the Reference Manager by Garantis Solutions. Do get in touch if you've got any questions.